ever smoked weed one night and then woke up the next morning pregnant because of it? Of course not, because smoking weed doesn't get you pregnant. Having sex does. Lots of people think marijuana is a really bad drug and there's a lot of negative side effects. When really, from my experience, I can say that this is not true. Some of the topics I'd like to go over today would be the common misconception that marijuana is such a bad drug and how horrible it is for you. There's a lot of good people in prison that shouldn't be. If marijuana were legal, some of the benefits it would reap on society, and some of the possible medical uses of marijuana. First, let's talk about why people think it's so bad for you. According to the drug policy website I looked up, marijuana is against federal law in all 50 states. But I mean, even in slide 4, my presentation shows burden, learn, and get high. The normal website I looked at shows that marijuana, you can never overdose by using marijuana, whether you drink it or smoke it or even just eat it. I mean, you can take $20 to the grocery store and buy enough liquor to kill you. People think, oh, tobacco is not as bad as marijuana. Say your toddler is walking around and he eats a couple cigarettes, contains enough chemicals to kill him. Some of the worst short-term effects of marijuana would be a lack of motivation, say an increased appetite, and short-term memory loss. The worst possible long-term side effects would be the fact that most people smoke it. And if you inhale smoke, it's not good for you. Of course, there's ways around that. They make THC pills and baked goods and such like that. So, all in all, there's not really a lot of reasons why marijuana is bad for you, except that it's illegal. Which brings me to my next point, which is all these people that are in prison that shouldn't be. The second slide of my presentation shows that there's been over 800,000 marijuana arrests in the country, which makes up over half of all the drug arrests. I mean, a lot of these people are probably good people that just like to get high, and they don't really deserve to be in prison, do they? I mean, one of the things they talk about in jail, we just got that new jail here, is overcrowding. Say they let all the marijuana convictions out, probably not such a big problem anymore. And lots of people use marijuana. According to my third slide, if they're going to use an illegal drug, it's probably going to be marijuana. I mean, hasn't the government learned from prohibition in the past that it doesn't work? The third topic I'd like to discuss would be if marijuana were legal, a lot of the benefits it could have on society. One is it could generate a lot of tax revenue for the government. It'd be like legalizing gambling in the state of Nebraska, It'd be similar to how much tax revenue they could make off of it. There'd be a lot less crime, That's a lot of man hours to arrest 800,000 people and to lock them up. There'd be a lot less people in prison and everything. Could also boost the economy. It could have a great effect on that. It could create more jobs, open more businesses, lots of things. Last, we'll talk about some of the medical uses. Saying they got this big deal in Denver now where they legalized medical marijuana, and they're just getting flooded with thousands of applications every day. I mean, doctors are prescribing those cards like left and right for everything. People claim marijuana can cure everything from the common cold to broken bones even. There is no scientific evidence of any of that yet, but there is scientific evidence that it can help cancer patients with their nausea. It's a pain reliever. It can help with lots of things. I myself suffer from ulcerative colitis, and I use marijuana to help relieve my pain. So, there's just a few of the things that people know marijuana helps with so far, and there's a lot of stuff that they don't know about. So, I guess in conclusion, there's all this bad propaganda out there about marijuana, it's so bad for you and all this, when really not all that's true, and you should take it with a grain of salt. There's a lot of people, good people, locked up in prison that shouldn't be. If marijuana were legal, it would have a lot of great benefits on society. All this money would be getting put back into the economy versus going to drug traffickers or terrorists or whatever, and it's also has a lot of great medical uses. So I guess I'm just saying that you should go buy yourself a bag of chronic, light up, and find out for yourself if you think it should be legal or not. All right.